Hello everybody, how are you guys? I am Tiana Grant. If you guys don't know me, Tiana Grant Lowe, if you guys don't know me, and I am just a young entrepreneur. I've only been an entrepreneur for about 4 or 5 years, and I just wanted to document my story and tell you guys where I came from and where I am trying to go. So with that being said, let me just tell you where I came from, who I am, and what I've had to overcome during my entrepreneur journey. So I started off being on the county, being on Section 8, and just deciding that I just didn't want my life to be like that anymore. I was married, but when you're on Section 8, they really don't make it easy. When you're on the county and government aid, I think it's a great thing. I'm not knocking anybody who is, but just in my personal experience, I found that they don't make it very easy for people who are married and who are looking for a partner. Like, it's not structured for a couple to build on that platform, pretty much. But so that's where I started, and I just got tired of living my life check to check, waiting for people to help me. I just got to a really low point in my life where I just was like, I can't live my life like this anymore. I really have to change my circumstance and my situation, and I can't wait for someone to help me. I have to help myself. And so what I ended up doing was making hair products. So I started off making what I call today my goddess butter, and it's basically like a hair moisturizer for people who wear braids and weaves and things like that. It helps moisturize the scalp and the hair and all of that great stuff, right? So I started off making hair products, and at the time I was partnered with, well, not really partnered, but I was working with another young lady who had a salon, and we were trying to work together to build a salon up. And I just wanted to go out to different beauty supply stores. Black owned beauty supply stores is what I started with, and I started going to different ones, asking could I sell my products in the store. And then I met a lady named Ashaki, who I love so much. Hi, baby. So I met Ashaki, and she really took me in. She allowed me to sell my products. She was the first person who said yes. She allowed me to sell my products inside of her store. And so during that time, I was very nervous. I didn't, I didn't know how to approach anybody. I didn't know what to say to anybody, but I just stepped out, and I was just like, if I'm gonna change my life or change my circumstance, I have to step out and do something. I can't just sit here and continue to just hope and wish and pray that something happens, that something changes. So I walked into her store, and I was like, hey, at first I just kind of looked around, and I was looking at the stuff that she sold, and I was getting ready to walk out the door. I don't even know if I've ever told her this. This is so funny. I was so nervous that I was getting ready to walk out the door. Like, I wasn't even going to ask her because I was so nervous. And then I was on my way out the door, and I said, you know what, if I don't ask her now, I can never complain about anybody not helping me or not wanting me to succeed, or because I'm stopping myself from success by not saying anything. And so I turned around and I said, hey, I sell products. Would you be interested in selling them in your store? I just got started. So she started asking about my products and different things like that. And so she took me in, and she was like, yeah, sure, you can sell it here. Let's do a launch party and all of that. So we planned a launch party, which was really, really successful. A lot of my friends and her friends, we all came together, and we did a great party. She made money, I made money, everybody was happy. So because I didn't have money to pay her for her venue, or I had a stylist, I had 2 stylists scheduled to come out that day to help me braid, and so they were braiding for free using my oil. I didn't have any money to pay them, and so what I did was, my way of saying thank you is I started creating pop-up shops for them to make money. So I would go and like at the beauty supply store that Ashaki worked at, that she owned, I'm sorry, I would create pop-up shops there. So as you can see, like, there's braiding care and stuff behind me. So I would have them like discount the braiding care with the price of the braids, right? So it was like, let's say it's $60 for some feed-in braids. So instead of them paying $60 plus the amount of the hair, we were discounting it where the stylist got a portion of the sale, and then Ashaki would get a portion of the sale. And that was my way of just saying thank you, because I didn't have money to actually give them and say, hey, this is what, you know, I can give you for helping me, because I was just getting started. And so the pop-up shop started really going well. Like, we started making a lot of money. I wasn't even making money, to be honest, because I can't braid. But the girls, like, they were making money. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's keep doing it. Let's keep pushing them out. Let's keep advertising, because during the pop-up shops, I would advertise my hair butter. Ashaki would get paid for the braiding care, and those stylists would get paid for braiding care. So it was like a win-win for everybody. So eventually it got to the point where Ashaki was like, hey, why don't you just open up a salon in the back of the beauty supply store? And so I did that, and me and her became really good friends, like really good friends. We would ask each other advice. She would help me find stylists. I would help her, give her advice on like what to do with the beauty supply or what products to sell. It just became a great partnership. And as things started to grow, you know, she would help me. She helped me out a lot, you guys, getting started. And I'm very, very grateful for that, because in the beginning, I was not sure of myself. And I don't know if she knew or what was going on, but I wasn't sure of myself as an entrepreneur, because it was something that I've never done before. I always talked about it, and I knew it was a huge desire of mine, but it was hard for me to step out on faith and to actually do it. And she was the one who kind of like gave me that cushion to push forward, if that makes sense. She gave me a little bit of confidence. And so we continued to work together, and then she went through some things personally that kind of had her pull back from being in the beauty supply store. So eventually she got to the point where she had to sell the beauty supply store. So I purchased the beauty supply store from her, and then that is how I got started with the beauty supply and the salon together. That has been a very, very the last, I say, 4 years have been very challenging, because one thing that I realized about being an entrepreneur is it challenges all your insecurities. Every last one of them. Like, there's no insecurity that you're gonna have that being an entrepreneur does not challenge, because it's a consistent growth cycle. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have an insecurity in talking to people. It's like entrepreneurship will put you in a position, no matter what business you're in, to have to talk to people, or have to build relationships with people, or have to deal with people that you don't necessarily like, or have to, like, if you're, you know, if you're like me, I'm just be honest, if you're like me, I am very cool, very down to earth. I don't really expect a whole lot from people. I just give me the respect that I give you, right? Like, we're good. I don't like he say, she say. I don't like people lying on me, it sends me over the edge. Like, it really does, because I feel like as a person, we all make mistakes and we all do things that are not great, that are not, you know, that hurts people's feelings. There's no one on the face of this earth that has never hurt someone else's feelings. And so I feel like, if, as just being a human being, if I make mistakes on my own, I don't need you adding to my mistakes. I don't need you lying to people, making it seem like I'm worse than what I am, because in the beginning I was very concerned about what people thought about me, which was really wrong, because it made my life harder instead of just being who I am. And so I couldn't, like, the gossip sent me over the edge. I'm not a big gossiper. It's like, if I said it, I said it. If, you know, if we're talking about somebody and you're asking for advice on how to talk to that person or how to deal with them, then let's talk about that. I don't want to be the person that's like, oh, this person said da da da, and that person said blah blah blah. And I don't have the patience for it, you guys. So being an entrepreneur challenged that part of me to have patience in that area and not to pop off. Pretty much in a nutshell. Like, you have to get to the point where your personal personality and your personal space is like, you have to be very careful how you react to everything, because now you're an owner of a business, and now you're liable for other things legally, and just how people see you and your image and how you want to be seen and the type of business that you want to do. And I'm learning at a very fast pace that you can't burn bridges every time someone pisses you off. You can't get to the point where you're just like, oh, I don't want to deal with this person no more, I don't want to talk to this person. Like, every relationship that ends should end either mutually, like, I don't think we should talk anymore, or like, you know, I wish you well and I hope everything works out for you, because you never know when you have to cross that bridge again. And that is what I've learned, and that's what I've tried to maintain as an entrepreneur. There are some people that we're both mutually understanding that will probably never talk to each other again, and that's okay, but you never know what the future holds, and you can't take it personal. Like, that is the one thing that, if I had to give any advice to any of you guys, do not take anything personal. Entrepreneurship is hard, it is unforgiving, and it's gonna bring you across some people where you're just gonna have to just release them and just say, you know what, I can't take you personal, because everybody grows at their own pace, and some people are still immature, some people are still learning, some people are still growing, some people are still dealing with their own personal issues. And so if you get to a point where everything that everybody says affects you, man, it's the worst. And that is one of the things that I had to learn, to not take stuff so personal. I had to learn to just back up and just say, you know what, they got their own stuff going on. I don't know what's going on with them personally. I just can't take what they say personal. I can't take what they do personal. I just have to hope and wish them the best and just go on about my life. That's pretty much how I've had to deal with certain people, because it starts to wear on your self-esteem. It started to wear on my self-esteem, worrying about what this person thought, what this person was doing, how this person felt, why doesn't this person like me? I'm trying my best, I'm doing the best that I can, and it just became very, it's like entrepreneurship already challenges your self-esteem, and then you have people that you come across being an entrepreneur that will make you already feel like, okay, I'm not only am I getting it from trying to run a business, I'm getting it from the people that I'm doing business with, if that makes sense. It's because it's like, when I say entrepreneurship challenges your insecurities, let's say you have a hard time completing tasks, right? Or because you have multiple tasks on your plate at one time, which was one of my problems, is I put a lot of stuff on my plate at once, and then I'm trying to complete everything within a certain time frame, and it's kind of like I'm like the mad woman running around trying to figure everything out. And that's not you know, that's not cool. Like, you have to pace yourself and you have to be realistic about the things that you can accomplish. So during those times where I had like a lot of stuff on my plate, it was kind of like I'm sorry you guys, I'm getting over a cold, but I wanted to really do this video. So one of the things that I had to face was just the fact that I can't do everything all at one time. I'm just one person, and even though that it's challenging and even though it's hard for me to do certain things at a time, it doesn't take away from the fact that I'm a good entrepreneur. And that's because you see other entrepreneurs, you're like, well, this person did this and this person did that, and you can't compare yourself to other people because you don't know who's helping them behind the scenes. You don't know who has been a helper to them, or someone that they can rely on, someone that they can count on and say, hey, can you take care of this while I do this? Because oftentimes you do have people that are in the background helping, taking care of stuff, and all you see is that one person standing in front of the camera or standing at the forefront of the business, and everybody's like praising them because they feel like, oh my God, look at everything that she does. But yeah, believe me, there's a team behind her, because not everybody can accomplish all of those things at one time. And so you have to be aware that you're not the only person. Sometimes you have to lean on other people to help you, and sometimes you have to say, hey, you know, I need a little extra help, or I need a little extra time to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. And so I had a lot of goals for myself in the beginning that caused me to really feel insecure because I wasn't meeting my deadline. But I wasn't meeting my deadline because I couldn't accomplish the goal. I wasn't meeting my deadline because I had unrealistic time. I had an unrealistic time frame, and I was trying to do everything by myself instead of saying, hey, can you help me? I need help, right? So that's what I mean by entrepreneurship will challenge your insecurities, right? And then you have people that you're doing business with. So for me, I'm in a service business. I service customers, and then I service hairstylists to be in the shop, right? So if one of your customers, like I had one lady who came into the beauty supply, and she's like, oh, all of your prices are too high. The person down the street, her price for this is such and such, and her price for that is this, and her price, like she literally walked through my whole beauty supply and told me that I needed to change all my prices. Like literally walked through the beauty supply, pointed out every product, and was like, this is too high, that's too high, this, and I just was like, what the heck just happened? Like, why would you do that? Like, that doesn't change my prices. My prices are based off of what I bought my product for. Now, what the next person may have bought their product for, or if they're buying at a higher volume, of course their prices can be lower because they don't have a larger overhead like I do. And so I was just like, okay. And so this is what she felt like she needed to do. So it's things like that challenge you not to cuss a customer out. Like, who are you? Why are you in my store telling me what I need to do? And you know, you got to exercise patience, and you have to say, okay, you know, I can't pop off, I can't be mad, I can't say anything. I just say, okay, well, do you need anything? Are you know, is there anything I can help you with that we do have in the store? And if the answer is no, it's no. And you can't just take it personal. You have to understand that every customer that comes to your door may not be a customer meant to stay. You know, you have to develop your own, people say your own niche or your own audience. But you have to understand that your audience is based off of who you want to sell your products to, because clearly she wasn't for me. She felt my prices were too high. But there are people who come in here and just say, that's it, you're not charging any more than that? Okay, give me 2 of them because that's the cheapest I found it. So it's all in the perspective of your customer. And then when you have stylists, for me, like I had stylists who when I first started off, I don't think that I was at the level of their expectation. And it's like, hey, I'm just starting, you guys. Like, I'm trying to figure this out as we go, you know? And so it caused problems in relationships that I had with stylists, because their expectations of and their standards of what they wanted was different than what I could offer, because I was starting off. And that is what you have to take into consideration all the time. Everybody's at a different level and at a different pace. And so because of that, you just have to get to a point where you don't take it personal. You just say, okay, you know what? I can't give them what they want right now, and so I don't think the situation is going to work. And you leave it at that. So that is pretty much what I mean by entrepreneurship, and people that you do business with will challenge your insecurities. And so over the course of these 4 years, I have grown a lot. I'm very proud of myself for the progress that I have made as an individual, and the progress I've made just building my confidence in being an entrepreneur, building my confidence in my business. I'm very proud of who I am today. I really am proud of myself. And so I have to just take that into consideration. And I hope that this little video helped one of you guys, and just to understand entrepreneurship, or just to understand the process that people go through being an entrepreneur. Sometimes it's not as easy as it seems. And then a lot of people give up because the commitment that you have to give to stay where you're going, sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes people feel like it's not worth the sacrifices. It's not worth the things that you have to do. It's not worth the heartache, the pain, the frustrations that you go through to be an entrepreneur. Because it is, you're gonna miss out on days. I've missed out on a lot of moments with my family, a lot of moments with my friends. I'm in moments, missing moments, because I'm constantly worried about what's going on with my business. How can I make it better? How can I do better? I'm one of those people that once I'm in it, and I'm in it 100%. I don't give up. I will keep fighting until the wheels fall off. So it's hard for me to disconnect from my business at times, but it's one of the things that this year I'm really going to work on. Is when it's my time to be with my family, then that's it. I try not to bring my business home, because I work pretty much 6 days a week, and I only have Sunday off, and I have 4 kids and a husband, so I feel like they deserve that time with me. So again, it is something that I am learning through the process, and I just wanted to bring you guys along for the journey of the things that I'm learning, and that is where I've been. And so I hope to see you where I'm going. Thank you. I'll do another video in a day or so.